All right, let's get out of here. And like I say, everybody, this Ram truck, I mean, what's crazy is this Ram truck is easier to maneuver than that Chevy Colorado Bison I had. And it's easier to get in and out of. It gets every bit of the same fuel mileage as that Colorado did. It has every bit, really, in my view, it has more power than that Colorado did. It has more room than that Colorado did. You know, and that's the thing. I was blessed to be able to finally get rid of those frickin' Chevy high payment vehicles and finagle a deal in this Ram truck. Because when you have, I mean, fortunately I still have now a decent amount of vehicles to rotate miles, because I got the Jeep Gladiator, got the Jeep Wrangler, I've got now the Jeep Wagoneer in the Ram truck. So I have 4 vehicles, and then the Blazer is really totally Brian's work vehicle. So for me right now, I have 4 really good vehicles to just rotate miles. And I'm letting my wife drive the Wagoneer around on the weekend now to help save mileage on that Jeep Grand Cherokee. So, conservative, I've got 3 vehicles. But the Jeep Gladiator, you know, I mean, I like it, but I don't. If that thing had a V8 motor in it, I think it'd be so much more of a fun vehicle. Or, in all reality, if it had that 4-cylinder turbo setup like my Wrangler does, it would just be such a nicer vehicle to drive and work out of. I just don't like that V6 Pentastar motor. I just, it just sucks. So, but anyways, I mean, the long term, if I could get rid of that Gladiator and replace it with something else where the monthly payment was half, that was really more of the goal long term. But I haven't even looked at the payoff on that Gladiator, but I can about guarantee you it's 10 grand upside down. I mean, it just, when you buy a car, it's a good 3 years. I mean, you're a good 3 years in before it's probably going to kind of even out on the value to the payoff if you didn't put a lot of money down. All right, you know, this is just, to me, you just have no idea on how, you know, this is not my norm anymore. If my father being up here with me just escaping the house and going places and doing things, I mean, that's just all on hold. Now, how much longer will my father be up here? You know, I would definitely keep him through August. I would definitely keep my father here with me through August. Now, you know, does he stay that long? That's debatable. I mean, he's always talking about, well, I need to go back home. Like, but what are you going to do back at home? You know, his house is for sale. And yesterday I was telling my dad, and it's incredible how it played out to a T. Because yesterday at 1:30 in the afternoon, after we got back in Costco. So yesterday we went to Costco and got there about 10:30. We didn't get back home till close to 1 o'clock. Just going to Costco and deal with his hearing issues. And so my dad starts talking about how he thinks he should go on back home. I'm like, well, what's that going to do for you? He's like, well, I got to get that house sold. I'm like, yeah, but try to sell that house and you living there is going to be even more challenging. I said, you know, think about this. Right now, it's 1:30 in the afternoon. Let's just say the realtor calls and says, someone wants to see your house at 3 o'clock. That's a county employee right there, and they're driving like a bat out of hell. Right there, that person came up on me, and now they're going down. This is a 45 mile an hour zone, and they're doing 60 plus. So, whatever. See, 45 miles an hour, which even for me, look at me, I'm at 60. So that person's at 65 plus. 20 over. So technically a county employee is pulled over at 20 over by a cop. That's reckless. Do they write them up as a reckless? I don't know. Doubtful. Anyways, so I told my dad, he was like, Dad, but now here's the challenge. You got to get out of the house. So now Leah, Rachel, or David, someone's have to come pick you up. Won't be my one sister. She still works full time. So they have to come get you out of the house and then get the house cleaned up to show the house. I said, you know how much more work that's going to put on them? I said, they're celebrating down in Florida that you're not there right now because they don't have to babysit you all day, Dad. And my dad understands all that. So anybody who watches my channel, if you don't think my dad feels bad about, even for him, he's telling me he feels bad about being up here. I'm like, no, don't worry about that. We're taking care of you and having fun, which we are. It's challenging, but we're having fun. So point is, my dad was talking about, he needs to go back. I'm like, you don't need to go back. Rachel, Dave, and Lee are very happy that you're still up here right now, and they're getting a breathing time. The most perfect thing that could happen with a blessing, a prayer for the family is this. My dad's house sells quickly, and when he goes back, he can be put in assisted living. And that's the only way it'll work. He has to sell the house because he still has mortgages on he still has expenses. So the house has to sell for him to have cash flow. It's $6,500 a month, $7,000 a month to go live in assisted living. So the glimmer of hope, everybody, with a prayer, say your prayer for popcorn and the family. Pray for a miracle. The house sells quickly, and my dad goes back. I keep my dad through August. The house settles in August. He goes back, and he goes right to assisted living. And my brother and sisters have coordinated bringing in an estate sale, getting rid of all the furniture, and then my dad just goes back, and it's simple. And my brother and sisters just don't have this everyday obligation of caring for him. And I still don't know really how they do that down there. I have a video camera to watch my dad throughout the night and the morning, and I just think to myself, there's no way my brother or sisters are cognizant that my dad at 4 in the morning is walking around the room. Yesterday morning, I don't know what happened. Yesterday morning, the frickin' door is just about comes off the hinges that I just put on. That's a rolling door. It was the weirdest thing. My dad's yelling for me, screaming for me, and it's like chaos at 4 in the morning. And it's like my dad tried to get out of the room or something. I don't even know. I have no idea what happened. So yesterday morning was just a really challenging. Yesterday was a very challenging day. It's up and down. One day it's good, one day it's bad. But the whole point I'm really trying to convey to everybody is the glimmer of hope. I can keep my dad up here long enough, and that home sells, and it just gives everybody relief. Because taking care of a parent 7 days a week, 24/7, it will exhaust you. And it takes your own life away from you. You really now are so much your parent because you're limited to what you can do. You can't really go anywhere, you can't do things. You have to remember, if there's bathroom issues, it's extremely challenging for your parent to go to the bathroom at any location you go to. It's extremely challenging for my father to get in and out of certain restaurants or how the tables are set up. He won't be able to get back up. There's so many things that start to play out. And you're just not cognizant of that until you actually end up having to take care of a elderly person. There's a good old Ram. I used to have a Ram truck just like that. I always liked the two-wheel drive dually Ram trucks. I just like the profile of them. I think they look better. And that's another thing, just getting in and out of this Ram truck I was talking about earlier with that Colorado. Do I miss that Colorado? Hell no. Do I miss the Chevy Bison? Big HD? Well, that's a really nice truck. But it's so expensive, everybody. It's just the payments get old. This area here just continues to grow by leaps and bounds, man. It just doesn't end. Everywhere in this area. Explosive growth. It's just unbelievable. Everywhere you go, data centers, houses, new developments, shopping centers, high-rise buildings. I'm not lying. It's everywhere. It's everything. One thing that's different about this truck is the analog. If you look at the way the number is, trying to think of the word of what numerical number style that is. I can't think of the what you call that. when you have script and Roman and all this other stuff on how the font looks. And I wonder what font that is, because the newer ones don't have that fat looking. I don't know if you can change that. Not even sure on that, everybody. But here I am, yabba dabba doing. I just really have stopped doing on my channel. And it's incredible for all the time and effort I put in my channel. Nothing. I mean, there's nothing. It's totally dead. I mean, comments, nothing. Viewing of other videos and contents, pretty much nothing. Would you ever believe somebody had spent 6.5 years of their life on a full-time basis, basically every day of their life, making 6-7 videos a day? 6,000 plus videos. And now that I've kind of stopped talking and publishing video, the whole channel is just dead in the water, like the lights turned off. Beyond unbelievable. But what goes on, you know, I think about things with Google and YouTube. So I think what goes on, which we'll never know, is there's round table conversations of these Google employees, and they look at all these different channels. And I truly believe they have meetings on daily or weekly meetings of the channels they like, the channels they don't like, the ones they're going to help push. And I really believe that goes on. So unbeknownst to most people, I truly believe that Google, behind the scenes, they're getting together as a group and talking about what creators do they want to help and what creators they really don't want to help and really want to see them just disappear and fail. And that's probably real. It really is real. That I'm sure if you ever get into the Google employee YouTube community, people that work there, I guarantee you'd say, yeah, you're exactly right, that there's everyday or weekly meetings of what creators we like to push and which ones we really want to push out. And which ones we really want to push out. Here comes a hearse. I guess somebody died and it's an emergency to get them to the to bury him, because they're going to wake back up. I mean, I'm at 66. I got a hearse coming up on me. It's a 70 plus mile an hour vehicle. So let's see how that plays out. Yeah, that's a loud one. Yeah. Who's in that car? Anybody yet? Well, you know, I mean, in my life, I'd just rather be cremated. It's too expensive. I mean, in our family, my mom and dad can't afford to be buried. My mom couldn't afford to be buried. We cremated her. I'm sure many people have the same stories. And at the same time, who goes and visits a grave site? I mean, sadly, most people don't. I mean, I just can think about the people I know that have lost their parents or whatever, and how often they go to the grave site, besides rarely. When have you been to a grave site lately? So at the end of the day, I like my idea. I'm going to have the community urn. I was telling some people the other day, I said, if you think about it, like for my father, I told my dad this, and he actually liked this idea. I said, when you pass and you're cremated, why don't we put your ashes in with mom's ashes? And my dad was like, that's really a good idea. I like that. I was thinking to myself, like, if you have a big family, can you even imagine have a big urn with, throughout the years, the family ashes are added to the big urn where the whole family's together in that big urn? Is that the next big trend? Did I just start something? Could I create the family urn? Think about this. What about if you were a big dog lover, horse lover, whatever it may be? You have all of your things in your life in an urn of your pets, your family, whatever it may be. Wow. I'll be amazed if that doesn't start to play out more than ever in our lifetime, because I think cremation is a growing trend and will continue to grow just because of how expensive it is to buy a plot and to be buried. I mean, you're probably talking $50,000 to $100,000 for a plot, not even including funeral costs. And as time progresses, that could be $100,000 burial for you. I just don't see. For me, I already know. That can be my story. Cremation. So Jerry is just ripping this stuff off. Like, oh my gosh. In all sincereness, have you ever done it this easily? I mean, you have. You usually got to heat it up.
This cheap stuff.
Oh my, so this is the Walmart brand?
Yeah. The adhesive's not even strong enough.
Oh my gosh. Look at that. And in some ways, it's a blessing, right?
Yeah.
Because some you have to heat it all and it takes a while.
Right. Then you gotta
Wow.
scrape
Oh my gosh. Me unbelievable. Well, I'm glad. Oh wow. We're just gonna match the back. The back's 23, so the next grade is 25. But I mean, I gotta see this all over again. He makes it look too easy. Jerry makes it look too easy. He does. So you literally just took your finger or you took your knife?
Well, yeah, because it was sticking over. It wasn't even...
Yeah, right, I get you. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Wow. Let's just see if it's this easy again.
Should be.
Oh my Lord. So what would be the guess of whose product that is?
I would say it's like a Walmart brand or
Right.
brand.
Right. All right, man. Got a lot going on business-wise, everything else. I kind of forgot to do the 104th LA tint per Travis. And wow, that went fast. You know, that went really quick. My appointment was at 12:30, but I actually got there early, about 12:10, I think. And they knocked it out. Look at this here. So a big difference now in how this flows. The interior's about the same color-wise. The strip, I went legal right to this line. If you go below it, he goes to inspection in Virginia. They can reject it because of that. So it's not worth going below it by an inch, just to get a little more. But it definitely gives the interior of the car a little bit more of a darker theme. And I'm just so happy you have like a tan colored, light colored overhead, because the black interior, I mean, like in my Wagoneer, it's just really dark. So it definitely gives you kind of still a light presence, but it kind of helps filter out all the sunlight and heat. And now I was gonna go buy Max custom exhaust. I called him, but he's got a lot going on, so I think I'm gonna go over there tomorrow if I can make things work tomorrow morning, late morning. And I think this time around I'm just gonna do like the resonator in the back, delete, where I just have a nice mild exhaust. I really don't want that same noise as that gray colored truck that we did. That was just too noisy. So I think I'd be happy. It's just a nice mellow, a little bit of a just nice rumble back there, because like right now you don't really get much of that. And I think we'll accomplish that and probably put some new exhaust tips on it as well. So hopefully that'll be tomorrow's mac and cheese day for you guys tomorrow, hopefully. But gonna get back to the popcorn to help the daughter take care of my dad, and I think I gotta get my printer set up and plenty of projects, and the list goes on and on and on. It's already hard to believe it's 1 o'clock. Wow.
That's not a good lesson. Don't rely on grandpa. Give your daughter a lot of good direction.
Trouble's here. He's never left. Well, the dogs start once I start saying howdy doody. But right now they're really content. But just wrapping up the day here. I did make some content. Let's see who the dogs are. They're oblivious to me talking to everybody. But hey, everybody, I did some content for you today. We got Poppy hanging with us in the shop, and it's really chilly out. Look at Poppy. He's all wrapped up in a nice shawl. And I got projects galore. I got the rough country air intake. I got a mac and cheese date tomorrow at 11 a.m. Change out the exhaust. Got the windows tinted today. So for those here on my channel, you can watch some content today. Not a lot, but a little bit. So stay tuned, everybody. Didn't do a lot on popcorn. Talked about them a lot. Yeah, stay tuned.